So now what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll generate our login component. So back in my terminal window here, I'll make use of that ng generate, and I'll give components/login. And I'll just move over here to this source directory just to verify that these new files were created. So components, and then we have this new login component. And what we'll do is we'll start with this login component.html. And so basically in this file here, I'm going to clear this out and I'll set up a div container for the Okta sign-in widget. So I'll set up this one div here and I'll have Okta sign-in widget. And then what I'll do is I'll move over and open up the login component.ts file so I can start adding some TypeScript code. So one thing I need to do up top is do an import on that myappconfig that I created a little bit earlier. So I'll have this import myappconfig from, and then use the relative directories here, ... to kind of go up 2 directories over to config/myappconfig. And then I'll set up a reference to Okta sign-in. And in my constructor here, I'm going to inject the Okta auth service. And then I'll fix the imports. And what I'll do is I'll create a new Okta sign-in entity here. And I'll pass in some parameters to it. And we'll have to make a reference here for this Okta sign-in up top. So I'll do an import. Star as Okta sign-in. And then I give from Okta/Okta sign-in widget. So that'll give me access to the entities there in that module. All right, so that should take care of that issue we had earlier. So now we have Okta sign-in. And so I'll give a parameter here for the logo. So this is assets images/logo.png. So that's our love to shop logo. It could be any logo that you want to provide. For the base URL, I make use of myappconfig, OIDC, the issuer.split /OAuth. So basically here, I'm just saying, hey, give me everything in the URL before OAuth 2. Then for the client ID, I simply just use the client ID as is. So myappconfig OIDC.clientID. Oh yeah, I need to fix and typo up here. I need to put all this inside of a curly brace because this is all JSON. So make sure you have an open curly up top and then another closed curly. And I'll just kind of put this on that line here. Okay, good. Now we have the redirect URI. So this is basically the callback, and we can simply use what we have from our configuration. So oidc.redirect URI. So a lot of this stuff is similar to the configs that we set up earlier. Now we'll specify some auth params. So make use of the PKCE, set that to true. Then for issuer, again, we just get a reference here from our config.issuer. And also the scopes. And again, simply grab that information from our config. All right, so that's the basic setup here that we need to create as we initialize this Okta sign-in widget. Now, the one thing here, the PKCE, remember that's the proof key for code exchange. We saw that in some of the earlier slides, basically saying here, we're going to make use of dynamic secrets for passing the information between our app and the authorization server. And that's the recommended approach for integrating our application with the Okta authorization server. Okay, good job.